Hey everyone, how is everybody doing? Welcome to another live A&R feedback session here on the Toolroom Academy YouTube channel. So buzzing to be here, listening to your demos that you guys have been sending through to us via Label Radar. We've had a wicked couple of weeks doing this. Matt Smallword, Friend Within, joining us. We found some really cool tunes. We actually signed one on our very first session as well with Matt Small, which was absolutely nuts. Joining me this week in the hot seat is none other than Danny Rhys.
How's it going, Pete? You alright?
Oh, good, man. You good?
I'm very good. We've just been out for some pub lunch, so it was amazing. It's an amazing
Very nice.
afternoon.
Very nice. Beautiful weather out there for pub lunch as well.
Oh, yes.
I noticed we've both gone for the white tees today as well.
Yeah, I know. Logo even on the left.
We're both in that summery vibe.
Yes.
I love it.
It's how we do here in the UK.
Definitely. Well, the thing is, someone did remark at me that they only ever see me in black. So I made a point today of going white t-shirt.
Totally.
So just for you, all right?
I mean, I'm digging the TP. I'm liking the design.
Same, mate. Same. Love it. Love it. Good stuff, guys. So good to have you guys joining us on the channel. Jump onto the chat. Come and say hi. Let us know where you're from. We'll take a look at the chat. I've got my phone here so I don't get feedback like I did last time on my computer. We'll check out what you guys are saying on chat as well. And let people know what you're thinking of the tunes as well. But keep it positive and supportive. That's what it's all about. We're all out here trying to be creative, you know, bearing our souls, sending music in, having it listened to for these sorts of sessions, you know, getting some feedback. Feedback, keep it positive and supportive. That's what it's all about, all right? So first of all, thanks to everyone that has been sending tunes through to us as well through Label Radar. We get quite a lot for these, but what we do is literally pick a bunch at random. I am not included in that as well, okay? So we have different members of the team which just pick tracks at random and will deliver some to me. So I have no idea what we are going to play until we play it as well, all right? So we should get stuck in and listen to some tunes, really.
Let's do it, Pete. Let's do it.
Definitely. I'm so pleased to have you here, mate.
Yeah, it's exciting to be here.
Man's on fire at the moment with the music and what you're doing here at Toolroom with the A&R as well.
I'm trying, Peter. I am trying.
Smashing it, mate.
Trying to keep a lid on it.
Absolutely smashing it. We'll talk a little bit about that in a while. Get a few plugs in there for some releases, as you do. Right, first record I'm going to throw in here. We'll be sharing the screen in a minute. We utilise Ableton here to play stuff back because it's nice for us to visually see what's going on with the waveform and stuff and with the arrangement, because sometimes that comes into play with our feedback. Right, so you have to just bear with me and our idle chit chat while we just load a track in. Okay, so the first record I have got here is by, I think, Norzik. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hope I got it right. If you're there in chat and I haven't, just let me know. Honestly, I'm not offended. I'd rather get it right than offend you and pronounce it wrong. Norzik with a track entitled African Flute. Let's do it, shall we?
Let's do it, Pete. Norzik, off you go.
Let's dive in. Yes, yes, Norzeek. What a great track. Really nice track, that. The whole idea, the flute's really nice, very summery, feels very apt.
It does,
for
it
today,
does, it really
doesn't
does. It does.
Going into festival season, it's got
Yeah.
that sort of nice outdoor terrace Ibiza feel. Groove's really cool as well, isn't it? I love the drums.
Yeah, the drums are rocking. They're really, really good drums. Percussion's really nice as well. But there's not too much going on where they start to clash with each other, which is kind of nice.
There's enough space in it to really enjoy that groove and the way it flows.
Yeah, you can feel the toms, you can feel the, like, you know, there's percussion elements there in their own sort of lane. You know, like I say, we're not sitting on top of each other, so that's really cool. Very, very current kind of sound, and I kind of get the arrangement in a way going in, you know, just straight to
the
drums and groove. Yeah, I think your breakdowns just need that little bit of, you know, they need some more work really to actually
create a moment,
yeah,
like
for sure.
really give the record that identity.
Totally,
yeah, I felt the exact same.
Just needed that. It's really difficult how to explain it.
I think the thing is, I think the first break we only had 8 bars of the flute. So we get in this flute and then it goes, but both of us didn't feel the flute was worked enough. Like, if you're going to just flip to the groove, you've got to really automate it, haven't you? Get some effects, bleed it out with reverb, filter it out.
It's called a
build it. Let's build it up so that transition between the flute going and the groove feels like there was a moment to make that transition valid. And then I felt like we're in the main break very quick at 2 minutes. So I feel like your arrangement's a little bit top heavy, like everything's quite early. And then after that second break, it's all, we've got 2.5 minutes of just groove after the main break. So you could have come down for another little break or something there. So basically, I think, me and Danny think the first break could be longer, 16 bars, to really work the flute and build it up.
For sure.
And the second break, let's have a bit more of a moment. I quite like the aggressive bass stab that came in. But it just came in as a sort of layer.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it to rise. I didn't feel like the breakdowns were like rising to a point, you know. I'm not sure if that's like, you know, EFX. You needed a few in there,
and I think just create a moment. I think effectively you've got your hats and your percussion running the entire time of this record. They never stop. They're going in the breaks as well. You don't filter them down. If that was to really push that break, I think you could be filtering down the percussion and stuff once we go into the break, and then just bam, the flute's on its own. A real moment, hands in the air moment. Michael Beebe on a terrace, an after party. Everyone's just following the flute. Then the flute starts to vibe, you know, get sort of tension, reverb, build up. Then that stab comes in, and then we can work a build up. So it's just telling the story a bit more, pushing the ideas a bit more, isn't it?
Because the idea is there. He's got all the right parts for the idea. It's just now making that work, and maybe you could use that flute in the grooves and the choruses a little bit more, because is just straight drums and groove.
After that second break,
so
maybe 16 bars later, I feel like you could do the classic thing and flute could come in over the groove.
Totally, because that's the theme there. It needs that. I mean, it's even called the fluter. Is it the flute, or I mean,
African flute.
African flute. It's even titled African flute.
Yeah.
I mean, we need a bit more African flute. I think.
Was it Mark? Am I going crazy that I can't remember this? I think because we've released so many records. Who did Flauta Magica on tour years ago? It might have been Mark. Go and check that out. Mark did one of these tracks, I think, on one of the old Bullets EPs. Go and listen to how he really works the flute and stuff, all right? But amazing stuff. Really, really like solid track idea, production.
Drums, groove.
This just needs that extra like 10-15% now to just make it wowy with the idea you've got. Right, let me find another track here. Let's dive in, see what we've got. Right, I am just going to randomly grab one here. Just loading it in. Yeah, I like that. That had a really good vibe to it.
Yeah, it's a great start, you know.
Right, okay. I said this last time. I need a new Mac. Definitely need a new Mac. I'll tell you what we do actually very quickly. Let's just see who's on. Let's see who's on and do a few shout outs, shall we? Make sure the volume's turned down so we don't get anything back like we did last time. Oh, look at that. My phone's having a problem. No, here we go. Oh, wow. Chat's busy. How is everyone doing? David, Trish, Alex, Julian, Nate, how are you? D-Tone. Oh, amazing. Jack Webster,
a lot of familiar
Mark
names
Frost.
there.
Yeah, some previous Academy students, producers that we know. Seb's back, Nino's back. How are you guys? Brilliant to have you here. Derek, how are you? Where is Johnny? He's in France. That's where he is. How are you, mate? Foley. Wow, look at that. Fressy. Awesome stuff. Nice one, guys. Everyone feeling that tune? Martina, Charlie, how are you? Everyone's feeling the drums on that as well. Wicked stuff.
Is the artist in now?
I don't know, actually. Was Nozika there? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. That's a shame. Good stuff, though, guys. Lovely to see you all here. We'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on your messages as well. Right. Next one up is Daniel Stacks. And it's a track called Gozalo. Gozalo.
Okay, I like the name.
I like the name. Right, let's do it. Nice one, Daniel. I wonder if Daniel's here and in the chat watching us live. Another really cool vibe. Cool drums, cool percussion.
Yep. Yeah,
very
I love the drums
groovy.
again.
Very groovy. Both of us were starting to sway about a little bit in our chairs on that one.
No, totally. I think he's got some really, really good drums again. Like Nozick, everything had its own place, and you know, it's just quite. It's very like Andrus right now. You know, he's really hot, super hot. Loads of people are playing him. It's a little quite down his lane. you know, so I think that's really, really cool job you've done there.
Yeah. Really interesting. Yeah, it is tribal for today, isn't it, Dito? That just, both of those were in that space. Like I say, not intentional. Totally just got those. Really interesting, man. I mean, like, I think in terms of the vocal is really interesting. When I first heard it, the way the vocal loops and his cut, it's got some really quirky parts in it. So you really notice it. It really stands out. It's got a strong character as a vocal.
Totally.
It's
got
like
groove, isn't it?
The way it bends, it's got its own groove. It's really interesting. And I think I don't even know if it's there's no right or wrong. Like it could be personal taste thing. I was wondering whether that vocal goes straight into the first drop and you're keeping that vocal going. What you could have done is perhaps gone into that first drop and had a chop version of the vocal, that or whatever, and then build up, and then after 8 or 16 bars go back into the da 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 da.
Yeah.
Because it felt. The only reason I'm saying that is because you went out that first break, went in with the vocal going, and then when you took the vocal out, it just felt a bit.
It needed something there.
It needed something there, and it was the way the vocal was taken out as well. There's a little bit more production on that transition, that point where you're taking the vocal out and the groove keeps going. You need more than just like a little cymbal or crash. We need to work the vocal a bit, maybe high pass the drums. But when those drums came back, I was like, could there have been another part? That's what I think you felt the same.
I think he could probably make something quite cool out of the little vocal he has before it drops, because you've got obviously your vocal which you're using.
That's the loop.
The loop, and that's offering a lot of groove and textures. I think maybe you can make something out of that bit of vocal before it drops, because that's the only time you hear it. Maybe you could get a few cuts, vocal chops in from that to put in that section, so that vocal's gone and it's other different, so it just adds that like, oh, this is new, it's got us a bit.
It's still from the same place, from the same vibe, the same vocal, but chopped into just a different melody.
Yeah, and I think also I'd recommend choosing a new, stronger open hi-hat just to really make that cut through. Just have it, all the way through, because I think it just needs that one solid hi-hat just to drive the track.
It did throw me a bit. It was in the first minute of the track, like a cymbal came in as a hat, but then it just cut off. It cut off as you were starting to filter down towards the first break. You just stopped that cymbal, and then after that, the hat was more of a tight closed hat, and that cymbal didn't come back. It threw me a bit. The same, wasn't it? And we were like, maybe just get a nice spiky 909 open hat that really lifts it.
For sure. I think I get what you tried to do there. But yeah, if you just had that nice solid hi-hat, it would make that transition just feel a bit smoother, because that kind of, you don't want a ride to come in and overtake, your main open hat, and I feel like that kind of did. So having that underneath a solid hat, I think, you could probably fix that nice and easy. But all
really
around,
good,
really cool,
good. You could work that other percussion as well. There was like more sort of live sounding sort of, I can't remember what it was now, some sort of timbala stuff like that could happen and have like this other new live percussion take over when the vocal goes out, maybe.
So, yeah, for sure.
It's not that you have to do something with the vocal, like we're saying. It's just that we felt there was room for a secondary sort of hook, what didn't we? Or a secondary thing.
These are ideas, judging, with the elements and the sounds you already have. It's hard to go right. Just sometimes just chuck this sound in, but trying to work something out with things you've already got, so you're not overcomplicating the track.
Cool, man.
Really cool.
Really good though, Daniel. Again, really nice, man. The other thing I'd say is I think you're better off doing an extended version first. It's an interesting length, this. You're just shy of 4 minutes, and it's like, is this a streaming version, or it feels a bit long for that? I think if you can make a track work as a club edit, like over 5 minutes long, it's easier to condense.
Yeah,
don't you think, for a shorter edit than the other way round, if you can get it working as a club edit. Anyway. Good stuff, man. Thanks for sending in. Really appreciate that. Right. Let's go grab another one. I'm grabbing these at random. So if I'm just pulling in tribal stuff today, I do apologise. All right. It's how it goes. Nobody knows.
Tribal Wednesdays. It's a new thing.
Next week could be techno, trance. Who knows? How you doing, Loz? You all right? Nice to see you, mate. Great to see the chat popping here. Everyone chatting away. Yeah, people were feeling that one as well.
Yeah, that's so
Everyone
super
was
close
loving
to
that
being
one, loving the
finished.
vocal.
So
wicked. Nice one, guys. Glad you are enjoying it. How do you submit, Peter? So, make sure you are following Toolroom Academy on Instagram, okay? And we put the call out occasionally, but it's through our Label Radar, okay? Label Radar is a really cool platform which you should go and sign up to it as an artist. Loads and loads of cool labels utilize this as a submission place, basically, to collect demos. Then they go onto Label Radar and can go and listen through there, and you can get notifications that it's been listened to. You can receive feedback from labels on there. They also have opportunities like remix competitions. Big artists do remix competitions on there, so you can go and enter them. Okay, so jump onto the Toolroom Records Label Radar page, follow Toolroom Academy on Instagram, okay, and we'll be sharing links that you can go and submit demos. All right, we pick them at random. If we don't play, resubmit. Submit again the following week. All right, guys, got to be in it to win it, so to speak. All right, but you will. Do you know what? Even if your track's not being played, you can learn a lot from hearing A&R feedback and advice on other people's music, can't you?
100%, 100%. I mean, that's how we all kind of learn to A&R in a way, you know, just listening to other people's and opinions on music and how we feel ourselves. So yeah, it's so important just listening to.
Definitely, you can learn a lot from it. Right, let's do it. Next one, I have got Martin Lusiuk.
Martin Ikin.
Martin,
he's in.
Martin Ikin snuck one into the demo pot. He's given me an anagram of his surname. No, he hasn't really. All right, but it is Martin Lusiuk. I'm getting thrown by these names today. I don't know why. I didn't have a beer at lunchtime, I promise. Right, the track is called Great Fam. I like the name as well. Great Fam. Right, let's get it.
Do have a great fan in the office. It's hot in here.
They've got fam, not fan.
Oh, obviously fan, right.
Is the fan on over there?
It is.
Apologies if it sounds like we're on a EasyJet flight to Ibiza or something with the fans going, but we're not. We're trying to keep this room cool. Right, let's do it, Martin. Let's roll.
Put your man's on the street and I'm thirsty. Raised by my instinct, finger marks and they're engraved by
Yes, Martin. That was a nice change of pace there from the tribal ones. Suddenly we were like, as a few of you said in chat, mojito in hand, strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah, that was summer vibes.
That
So
was
I got
real.
my flares on, about to go out.
Do you don the flares when you go out?
I don the flares.
Yes. Get some short versions of flares. Like really nuts flares, but only down to about there.
From my knees.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, mate, he had the flares out for this one. Honestly, really nice, Martin. That was a really nice summery vibe. The funk, the bass line was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Proper funky live bass. Ba, ba, ba. Bailey, the producer in the corner, he loves a bit of funky bass. He was literally like this. Teeth came out over the lip, but he was feeling it. Honestly, really nice. And the little synth sounds, really lush. Lovely track, really, really summery, really interesting vocal. I think that was the main thing for us. It was like, wow, wasn't expecting it. When that spoken sort of edgy street urban vocal came in the break, it was like, wow, wasn't expecting that combination. Was just expecting something disco-y or sultry, summery, smooth, soulful. And suddenly we've got this edgy vocal. I wonder if that's your own vocal, Martin. I really wonder that. If you're on chat, is Martin here?
If he has, he's done some really cool, because there's so many different vocal parts in this song. There's loads of different types of vocal chops. So if it is, he's done some really cool things there. I mean, it's that last chorus where those vocal chops come through. That really works. That really works nicely.
It turned into a hook.
It did, and that was really cool. I think you could maybe use those parts a little more in the track, because it felt like you needed a hook somewhere.
You were saving it, or you did the classic thing of arrangement of going, I'll save all that for the second half, for the main drop, whereas actually it needs to be in the whole record, right?
Totally, because you kind of get used to the groove. The groove is wicked, by the way. It really is cool, but you do get used to the groove, and you're kind of waiting for that little something to come in, and I think
just guide you.
You could use that part from the first break. But maybe just simplify your vocals a little bit, because there's lots of different parts through the song.
Yeah, I think we need a bit of clarity in what is the story. So the very first break, we're getting like about from baby to infancy or something, like, and raised from, and something like that. I reckon you could actually just push that a little bit more as a story. I think to take the listener on a journey when it's a bit dreamy and laid back, you could actually go a little bit streets on it and like tell a bit of a more story. So we get that, and then when we drop on that first drop, between there and the second break is when you need to introduce to us a hook part of the vocal, and that's what gets used more in the record, rather than like what Danny says. We've got a bit of spoken vocal there, a couple of little bits of vocal, then on the second break when we dropped, we had this loopy vocal. And then on the outro, we had that chopped one that was really hooky as well. What, didn't we?
Again, so there's lots of vocal chops. You need to, again, just simplify it, pick the best one, utilize it. And like Pete says, a better spoken word,
just push the story a bit
more. Totally. I mean, for me, I think you could go a bit cooler than baby to infant. This is a house record. You might want it to sound a little bit cooler if I'm being slightly brutal.
Yeah.
But you could reference so many tracks, like a Roland Clark track or something with Seven Fisher in. A lot of those. Yeah,
it's not even like having to copy their subject, but see how they
the
tell
delivery
a story
and the process through.
The process,
it's a very different track, guys. But there's a song called from Todd Terry. DJ's Got to Dance More. And I love the message in it, because the whole song tells a story, and it's such a good track.
Yeah, you're pulled in by the vocal the whole way through, right?
And it's got a great message to it too.
Yeah.
So, again, maybe just reference the delivery of it and how it's done, and maybe a bit of the songwriting involved with it. Not saying you have to do that or go to that extent, but you might get a bit of inspiration from it. Is where I'm
going. Good advice. If that is your vocal, Martin, huge props to you. Massive respect.
That's your own, man.
To do a vocal, or maybe that's a friend or an artist you work with, wicked. Really interested. We could have just said, just put a soulful vocal, put like a female soul singer that suits this vibe. It's actually really fresh to have something different.
Yeah,
do something
I love the vibe.
The box. Still, it just gives the summary vibe, but a little bit of swag and a bit of edge. But we do think you could push that story a bit more. Keep going, man. Great record.
Proper bar groove, sort of. I could see.
Love it. Really cool, man. What a great different vibe as well from the first two. Let's grab another one. Let's have a look what we've got. Right, what have I got here? Right,
Not another Martin Ikin demo.
Hang on, who's Danny Sire? Who's that? Is that an anagram of Danny Rhys?
Really sounds like it.
Just totally made it up. There's no Danny Sire in there. Sorry, dad humour for you right there. Right, I've grabbed this one. Name just popped out to me in my little demo pot. Just waiting for my Ableton to analyse it. Surfo by the artist is Surfo.
Nice.
And the track is called Soul.
Surfo Soul.
Surfo Soul.
Love that already.
That almost sounds like an actual artist name.
It
doesn't
does.
it? Not an
Surfo
artist
Soul.
track name. Surfo Soul. Love it. Right, let's do it. Let's get it on.
Jack it up.
Surfo Soul. I want to use that as an artist name, Surfo Soul.
It does. Sounds like a
Surfo's really
genre.
cool. It's really cool. Yeah, it's almost. It is almost.
You got any Surfer Soul? It sounds good.
It's nice, man. There's a really nice track here. Nice idea coming together. It feels like perhaps it's a bit of like a work in progress, or perhaps just someone still on their journey, still learning certain aspects of music production. But I really like what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve vibe-wise here, with the sort of mood, the piano. I like the drums. I like that, just the classic house clap going on in there, which is really nice. But I think you'd get a better result with this record if you rethink main thing is how the piano works with the bass line on this record for me, and then your actual samples, the sounds that you are using, whether that is, I don't know what you're using for that piano, whether that's a certain synth, whether you've taken a sample, whether it's a loop, whatever. There's no right or wrong, there really isn't. But it feels like the piano actual sound itself, you need to get that real classic house piano sound. F9, okay, just search F9 pianos, okay. Those, honestly, the F9 piano is the one for house tracks, for that real sort of thickness, that vibe, that classic vibe. There's a bit of 90s in it. All right, I know everyone goes to like M1s and stuff, but honestly, that's cool. That, for me, that piano just needs the thickness, the real classic house sound. But then it's the piano and the bass line. They're just not, for me, quite working together. We've got this bass line that's just rolling on and off. And then the piano's trying to send us this very specific message. And they're just not quite marrying, are they?
It doesn't have that sort of root groove to it, does it? Just the core groove to the song.
That we actually latch onto.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, with the piano, I mean, something you could do, use possibly in future is to reduce the release. If you're using a synthesizer, is to reduce the release on it, because when you're hitting this note, it's very long. And I feel like it make it feel more sharper and even a more attack on it in a way, because it's dun 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 rather than dun 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 dun. Do you know what I mean? It just feel, and you'll just feel every one of those notes just a little bit tougher, a little bit. I don't know, but you could play around with that a little bit more. You layer pianos or something just to get that thickness, or obviously definitely try the F9 that Pete's suggesting.
The samples are the ones, the F9 ones. Trust me, it's what I used on my piano track earlier in the year, which was a great tip from Ellis Moss, our very own Ellis Moss. Yeah, I think I'd either follow the piano with the bass line. You know, when you make piano tracks, it tends to either follow the piano, so you make your piano first, or, you know, go from the root note of your piano and work the bass line from there. Or you could do something a bit more, you know, different. If you not necessarily want to just make a straight up piano house track where the piano follows the bass line, you could do a bit more of a busy, crazy bass line. But then you've got to make sure that it either A, can work with the piano, or you go piano and then switch.
Yeah.
So you have it down low with the piano there, and the piano works in a certain spot and then flips. I just think that, that bass line is just sort of up, down, and the piano trying to tell us a story. That's what main thing I would rethink. All right.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit, I feel like it's becoming a bit of a repetitive bit of advice for people, but honestly, it just works. If you was referencing something, or if you had a track in mind that inspired you for this, go and look at that track's arrangement of what they do and when they bring in other parts. Because you've got this little acid line that comes in.
Yeah, we've got a little acid line that comes in.
But I think that needs
vocal pops through.
It really needs its own space. Yeah, there was a Jack vocal or something quite near the end.
Right at the end. You know, I mean, why is that not in sooner? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
a few things to think about there. Good stuff, man. Honestly, massive respect for sending your music in, because it's quite nerve-wracking, you know, to send stuff in.
For sure.
We pour our creativity, our heart and souls into this music, and to send it in and let people give you feedback, give you advice, takes a lot of courage, but it's something you need to do. All right, if you want to move forwards and get somewhere with your music, 100% take these sorts of opportunities when you can, as much as they are nerve-wracking. Go to other live events, go to conferences, put your music in front of people. It's how you will learn. All right, but yeah, Surfo, definitely name of the day so far. I'm going with that. I'm loving that.
100%.
Definitely, man. And just a few things to see, but great track, honestly. And I think it's quite a simple stuff to do in changing that bass line and
for sure
layering the piano a bit.
For sure. Definitely reference some MK tracks as well. You know, he's the don of piano house, basically. So reference a few of those and see if that helps.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So before we go on to the next one, let's talk about you for a little bit.
Aha!
What's going on music-wise? We've got something coming on tracks next week.
Yes, Peter. I've managed to hit the nail on the head this time, so I'm super happy about that.
Woohoo! So, yes. I need a horn sound of effect.
Wheel
Some
up.
bomb explosions. Bailey, can we
Um,
arrange that? I want a little sound effect pad just here, some buttons on my
Buttons.
chair.
Dogs barking
Yes,
and all sorts.
we're going to make it happen. We'll go full on in. That's wicked, man.
Yes, thank
Really
you,
good.
thank you. Really excited. Yeah, my first single and tracks. So
Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
yes,
It's a rocker.
30th of June, guys. Lock that down.
It's the plug. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. TourAcademy.com for more information. Yes.
No, amazing. So that is next week, next Friday.
Next Friday.
A week
yes.
next Friday, yeah.
So promo's looking good so far. So yeah, I'm excited to drop this one. But
Wicked,
yes,
man. Been building up to it. You know, you're constantly pumping music out. You know, you've been doing a lot of stuff on some really cool labels. It's about time we had something on tracks. It's good to see.
Yes, really buzzing about that. You know, for Mark to give it the nod to do it. So yeah, I couldn't be happier on that one.
Amazing stuff, man. And for those that know of you as well, with your A&R prowess here as part of the music team at Toolroom as well. Busy working on stuff.
Oh,
here as
very
well?
busy. Lots and lots of projects going on, from albums. You know, I work on Kiss with Mark Knight, Toolroom Radio. As well as working Toolroom Tracks as a label manager. So there's a lot going on, but we're very busy. Lots of exciting projects coming out this year, as per lots of new artists as well. Lots of
Is there any hot goss you can give us on any
hot
releases
goss
that haven't been announced yet?
Hot goss.
Coming after
here's
you.
some hot goss for you Toolroom Academy guys out there. Where Ben Remember, Ben has a tune on the way on Toolroom Tracks. So yes, Ben Remember is back on the label. Really, really excited, and he's come correct with an absolute banger in true Ben Remember style as well. So really excited to.
I can
to drop
concur
this one.
on that. I've had some sneak snippets.
Some sneaky snippets, some sneaky previews. So yes, that will be coming real soon in about a month's time, I think. So keep an eye on that, people.
Amazing, I love it. Hot goss comes here first, guys. And you're on the lineup for Toolroom 20, Village Underground, August the 19th.
Yep, again, that's another thing I'm really, really excited for. You know, just to join such a lineup of Ellis Moss, Noizu, Mark, Asel. It's going to be so cool. I'll be there warming up. So yeah, come down nice and early, and I'll get you grooving. That's the way we're gonna. That's the plan.
Amazing, excellent stuff. Love it. Love to hear that. Okay. Right, back to the music, shall we?
Yes.
Love it. So, we have got some previous students here, actually. Shan and Emma Claire. I think we played a solo track of Emma's on our very first session. We've got a collaboration here between Shan as well. Shan was part of the Toolroom Academy. Honestly, there's no bias. We're not picking just Toolroom Academy students here. It's people that have been submitted to these sessions, and then, as I say, picked at random. So excited to hear this collaboration.
Yeah. And Emma Claire gets involved a hell of a lot with the We Are Listening. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah, definitely. Take off opportunities like that. You know, we do the We Are Listening group, which really encourages more female and female identifying artists to get in touch with us. You know, send us their music. We offer support, A&R feedback. We've done all sorts of get-togethers, groups, and that sort of days where we've done studio sessions, haven't we? So check that out. Take a look for We Are Listening. We've got some pages online, Facebook as well.
I believe so. Yes,
on the website.
It's on the website.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's do it. Let's hear what these two have done together. Then it's exciting. Let's go.
Oh, I'm worn out after that.
Wow, that
Energy
was
through the roof.
that was banging, absolutely banging.
Yeah.
I've got a real sweat on.
Yeah, 2 fans in here, please.
If you can really rock out while sitting as still as possible in a chair, I'm trying to sit as still as possible with all this gear around me. My inner body was just like, wait to get up and go for it. That was banging, amazing, guys. Honestly, that is wicked. That is wicked.
Really, really great work. And I've worked with both of these actually on other music, so you know I've got a lot of respect for Emma and Chantel. But yeah, incredible collaboration there. It's got a nice mixture of both of their sounds as well. I mean, I'm not sure if any of you guys have listened to both of their music. You know, Emma Claire's quite techno heavy driven, sort of more techno focused, and it has that flavour. Chantel brings that sort of energy with kind of hooks and melodies and stuff like that.
And
so
that's really cool. as well from Shan. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that's like 99% there. I think you just need that little rest break in that breakdown, because it's still very bass heavy through the whole breakdown, apart from that last sort of 4 bars, 8 bars where you bring it out and then the snare roll comes in. But it's just very. You
could maybe do something a bit sooner, like a bit sooner in that break. Yeah. But
I would do the obvious thing and just filter out the bass, just get a bit of a break. I mean, if you look at the waveform, I'm not sure if you guys can still see that, but it's chunky all the way through. You just need that.
What a mix and stuff. It does sound heavy as hell, but I think you're right. Just a bit of respite. I mean, look, we're almost trying to find something to give you feedback on, I suppose, because it's banging, absolutely wicked, really, really good. The energy's amazing. The power. I like the vocal. I like everything about that record. That is really. It sounded fat.
The speakers are.
They were rocking the cones.
The speakers gone out for a break. They loved it that much. But I'll tap you girls up. I'd like I'd like to take this into the next day in our meeting and see what we can maybe do with this one. But great work if you're listening.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. It's going to go into the next big Tour Man R meeting. Can't ask for more than that.
Nah.
Love that. Love that. That's amazing. Amazing stuff. Shan and Emma, honestly, wicked. Absolutely banging. I feel like we need to take a commercial break. We can't do that, but definitely need those horn sounds and explosions after that record as well. I'd get trigger happy though. I'd be doing on every track. Crikey. I know we moaned about it last week, but it is very, very warm in here, isn't it? It's very warm. Right, let's get another record in, shall we? What have we got? Yeah, it's very warm, especially when we're playing this stuff as well. Whoo!
Energy's through the roof.
Yeah, isn't it? Energy is right through the roof today. We've gone tribal, street disco, soulful, banging sort of tech,
surfer soul genre.
Yeah, banging sort of tech house, techno infused. Where are we going to go now? If Ableton lets me, or should I say my laptop. Honestly, I think I'm lost about 3 pints of water so far in this room.
I'm drinking it.
So you're promoting healthiness. I like it. Right. Okay. Next up, I've got Roy LaCroix. Is that how you say that?
I mean, I like it.
Croix. Croix? That'd be like French. LaCroix?
Maybe. I like Roy LaCroix.
Like Roy LaCroix.
That's wicked.
Just the
Roy LaCroix. Yes, that's a name. Like Surfer Soul, you just won't forget it. So that's a great artist.
Definitely. Okay, so this one is called Blind Disco. Not Silent Disco. We're going in on Blind Disco. Right, let's do this, Roy. Let's roll.
give me your name, or we can just dance.
Wow, Roy LaCroix bringing the 80s vibes right there. Literally, we were like, where's this going to go? We've had tribal, we've had sort of soulful, some soulful street stuff going on, banging, and then bam, coming with the 80s tech house groover.
I love that. Oh. That's the great thing about listening to demos. Is you see a link, you see a name you may not have heard of, and you click it, you just don't know what you're gonna get. And that's sometimes the beauty of listening to demos.
Definitely,
you don't expect.
Definitely, I love the fact that everyone's got their own vibe. That's what's really cool about music production and artists having an identity. I mean, that when we first press play, that snare. I mean, you just literally go. We're all feeling that proper 80s vibe, and then all the drums and the percussion, the toms.
Yeah, I think I've really nailed that sound as well. Like, there's only a few people doing that sound. I think a couple of guys messaged it. In the chat, like R Squared.
A couple of people mentioned R Squared.
Joseph Edmonds. There's only a few people doing that sound, but you've really nailed that sound, I'd say. So really, really good work there. It's I loved all the little fills as well, and all the little bits of you make nice
doing answering each other, question answers.
Yeah, for sure. There's some really nice bits in there where they you know, you've got one, you cut them up so well, so they do all these different sounds, make this lovely little pattern, and I think that there's some really cool patterns in there. I think for me, it's a really tricky one. It's like the vocal. I wasn't a fan of the vocal necessarily at the start. I can see it kind of works because of the theme you're going down.
It kind of grew on you, didn't it? By the time of the second,
it did grow on me. That's the thing.
And when it came back in over the track afterwards, you were like,
and I love that
you're going
your
on the
number,
story.
and then the dance bit, because the dance bit is sick. That's a great idea.
It's very. I think we both though were a bit unsure, and it's tasting as well of the chopped vocal. When it was chopped, I quite liked the first drop. It just felt a bit gimmicky. The way the vocal was chopped, and then you were doing a lot of question and answers. The second drop felt more classy. I think that's the best way I can describe it, from my own opinion. The second one was just a dun 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 dun. See, I can still remember that riff melody, and the synth was really nice. And I know you're trying to get some variation between the drops, but that second one was just more classy and cool. And then the vocal just came back. You had a couple of little vocal chops, but like one-off ones. Not the sort of chop bit.
Yeah, you can see where he's going with it.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah,
totally.
I wouldn't say that was needed, or it kind of worked. It kind of, it's so 50-50. But yeah, the vocal chop, I'd say maybe just mute that for now, mate. I think you could. It's not needed, but
I wasn't sure on that vocal chop. I think, and I wonder who has done the vocal on this one. Is it you, Roy? Is it someone you know? Is it a sample? I don't know. But if it's not a sample that you found in a pack, you could take that story even further.
For sure.
That's the only thing that you said. By the time you get near the end of it, you've just had that one phrase, which is the hook. But imagine in one other place of the story, if it just said a couple of other lines, same person, same subject, but something else was told as well.
Yeah,
Could be quite interesting.
It kind of also reminds me of this. What's that David Bowie song? Put on your red shoes and dance. What's that one called?
Oh, you're talking to the wrong person.
But anyway, David Bowie, put on your red shoes and dance the blues. I can't think what the title is. It's probably even in there what I've said, but loads of people have remixed this, done lots of edits, and I think a vocal like that could work. So if you was to maybe even keep those lyrics, but find someone who can sing that sort of David Bowie, quite reverby sort of.
A little bit more fast-paced in the delivery than this one, so
just
it's less
get it
slow.
tighter. They could write some extra lyrics in, just to, you could really take it somewhere with that particular type of, and just. No, Let's Dance. When it's called Let's Dance or Just Dance, man.
Oh yeah,
Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
Yeah, massive.
Let's Dance. So
one of his
because it's like that. It's
massive hits.
Which is dance, and I think you could play on that a little bit. But tough one. But wicked drums, wicked groove. Love the overall theme.
The vibe
sound
was really interesting.
So really,
just
really
not sure on the vocal chops, but look, that's nothing that's right or wrong.
Yeah,
that's us giving you our sort of personal opinion, fair play for sending it in though, Roy. Like it. Really mixed up the vibes. Great work. So when you've got an identity to a record and you're really going to go for it, that's nailing an identity, that is, mate.
For sure.
You've that is all the sounds and the choice of sounds and synths you're using are bang on for that vibe. So well done, man. Right. Let's grab another one. I feel like we need our makeup and wardrobe artist to come in and just repowder. Makeup! Bit sweaty in here, bit of sheen going on. We don't have that. We don't have that luxury here in Toolroom.
Look!
Not yet. Did you hear that? I'm going to get my buttons and I'm going to get a makeup artist. Yes, please. Right. Here's an artist I know. Okay.
Martin Ikin again.
Martin, you keep slipping in here, mate. Ugh. I have to have words. Right. We have got one from Dana here.
Dana, yes, Dana.
He's doing some amazing things out there with his productions. Okay, this one is called Drag.
Tamara Drag. Tamara Drag. Had a canary who couldn't sing. I had a cat that let me share my path with her. I bought a dog that killed the cat that ate the canary. What is truth? Fast shorts, swing with a gassy chick. Turn on to 1,000 joys. Smile on what happened and check what's gonna happen. You'll miss what's happening. Turn your eyes inside and dig the vacuum. Tamara Drag. Tamara Drag.
Woohoo! Yes, Dana. Super cool. Super cool. Underground. I know this vibe that you're doing, man. It's wicked. Really, really cool, man. I like it. The groove, the drums, all that delicate little sounds. They really sit nicely in the mix as well. The bass line is really bumpy. I really like that. I think you made it out a bit of percussion. That actual sort of hook. That main hook. It's really cool. Like when you first hear it in that first break, I feel that you got our attention. You got our attention the most in that very first break, when everything just went, and you just threw that in that percussion riff in, and we were like, "Whoa!" It's like, bam, that's a moment, and it wasn't like, it didn't feel like weird that it just dropped and cut out to that.
No, that was okay.
It felt natural. But what I mean is, you just totally got our attention with that sound as a hook, as a riff.
Yeah.
You was like, oh, this reminds me of like some Reboot stuff as well, like that sort of vibe, which is really super cool. And then the groove come in with the bass line, and we're like, okay, this is wicked. I feel like, for me, and this can be a personal thing, because, you know, look, we're not super knowledgeable on every single detail of every single sub-genre of house and tech house there is out there. And a lot of that production style and arrangement style differs between that. You know, more minimal deep tech and more underground stuff. Why not necessarily do similar sort of arrangement techniques? But I just felt like the arrangement needed, for me, another one of them moments. I felt like I needed you a point of just to suddenly like make me go, whoa, stop, whoa, what's that? like a real moment. Not that you have to throw a new part at me, but I just love the way that happened in that first break.
I think if he just brought that rolling sort of cowbell sound out, because it feels a bit more buried in the chorus sections. If that was to be brought out a little bit more, it'd grab your attention again, because that's as soon as, like you say, when you hear that come in first to the breakdown, that's the bit that grabs your attention. This is the big, this is the big part. You know we're going to be with this record. So if you was to just bring it out in the groove and just take, if you listen to someone like James Hur's stuff with the rolling percussion, different sound, but he does a lot of rolling percussion kind of sounds.
Yeah. And
they're just brought out, so they are in your face, and that's, you go, right, I'm back with, I'm with this sound now. So yeah, I think that for me, that's the only thing I'd really say. Just really bring that out and because you've got a really great idea there.
Yeah.
And just really play on it,
It's almost, the thing is, it's like I'm saying, it's different for different styles, but I feel you could make that more accessible. You remember me going on about that in the past, Dan, and I think that's what that is, because the break, the vocal's really quirky as well. It's talking about a cat that ate the dog and the canary, and tomorrow's going to be a drag. But at the same time I was following that vocal, that hook, that riff was starting to build and get intensity to it. And I was like, oh, do I need both of them telling me the same story? Now, this isn't right or wrong. This is us just giving you our thoughts of how you could. I'm using Bailey's phone and it keeps locking on me before I look at it. I'm trying to read the chat. My phone died on me, totally unprepared. So there we go. Just so I can keep an eye on what you guys are saying. Yeah, and I feel like that when the hook was building in the background, it was starting to get all this intensity, and I was like, this could keep going. This could keep going. This could keep going. But that's a personal thing, how long you want that build up to be, how big, how epic. And then we came back in. That's it for me. I reckon it could be the arrangement. And like after that second drop, you could do it could be one of those records that chops in and out, a couple of short little extra breaks, like we stop again after only 16 bars and do a little thing with that hook and back. It's wicked, man. Yeah, look, other people saying, give me the Rebuke vibes. He's in, Dana. Yes, Dan. Good to see you in, mate. This is wicked. Everyone's feeling it, though, man.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. You've got something really, really cool here. I think it's just
wicked.
Just
good vibes in the chat here from it.
The hook. So, yeah, great work, Dan.
Wicked stuff. Love it. No, there is no aircon in here. We are suffering.
Yes.
We'll get some towels, Loz. That's the rock and roll way, right? How are we all doing? Is everyone good? Graham, I see Graham's in here as well. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Oh, Chantel's in. So thank you for the feedback on hers. Love this. Nice. Yeah, sitting on leather chairs with a laptop on my lap definitely makes it a bit hotter as well. Nice one though, guys. Loving the support from everyone on everyone's tunes. That is so much what his production is about. Supporting each other.
For sure, there should be a place of people can actually open up with their music and be supported, and lots of positive vibes rather than criticism. Because this is what it's all about, right?
100%. We bang on about this in the academy all the time, but trust us, guys. Build a community. I think so many of our students or people we've worked with, or just artists that can relate to this that we haven't necessarily worked with, will back us up on this. When you get a bit of a community, a group of friends, people that you can talk to and work together as you build up as well, it makes it a much more happy, fun, enjoyable, pleasurable experience. You've got people that you can start to actually get advice and feedback from. You've got people you can talk to when you're feeling a little bit got that creative black hole. You're feeling a little bit down with your own music. You're not sure what's going on. Honestly, communities are where it's at, and that's what we're trying to promote here and trying to bring together as well. All right, it's so cool to see some familiar names. We're only 3 weeks in on these live broadcasts, and it's so wicked to see a bit of a community buzz going there on chat.
Sure,
which is awesome,
lovely
man.
To see.
Really, really, really nice to see, guys. So keep it coming, all right? I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week's session, guys. But I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone who sent their tracks in. Okay, if you sent a track in, it didn't get played, don't give up. Don't let that dishearten you. Come back next week, all right? We'll be back here next week, 3 p.m. again. Resubmit a track, and we will try to get to it, all right? Okay, we'll take another random selection. We always try not to sort of play the same artist, okay? So come and join us, man, or just be part of it. Join that community, be part of what we were just talking about, and it'll be a much more enjoyable experience on your own journey as well, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
No worries.
Mate.
Pleasure as always, Pete.
Absolute pleasure to have you here with us. And make sure you keep an eye out for Danny's track out next Friday.
30th of June. It's called Sabali. Be there or be square. Just do the right thing.
just do the right thing.
Help
Stick
a
it in your
brother
car,
out.
Stream it. All right. Yeah. For everyone that streams it, he'll no.
Well, I was promising unicorns, but
unicorns. We can do unicorns. Pub lunches.
Oh. Goes me wages.
Not on Danny's wage. That's not going to happen.
No.
Honestly, though, thanks, man. Yeah, make sure you check it out, guys. All right. We'll have more guests coming to join me in the hot seat. We'll be back here next Wednesday, 3 p.m. UK time, all right? So make sure you click like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week, all right? Nice one, guys. Thanks again, Danny.
No worries. See you guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.